morning everyone. Hope you all are good and safe at home. We are doing definite integrals and the topic which is going on evaluation by using the properties. Now the next property we already did some of the properties in previous videos. Now the next property is whenever the limits are a to b of the function and we just want to find its integral, we can split the limits a to c and c to b, where c is always lying between a and b, where c is always lying between a and b. So we can split the limits. How can we split the limits? Let's do one question, then this property will be more clarified to you. Here we need to find 1 to 4. The limits are 1 to 4. We need to find the integral of function. What is the function? There are two functions, depends upon the limits. So 1 to 2, whenever the limits are 1 to 2, the function is 4x plus 3. And whenever the limits are 2 to 4, the function is 3x plus 5. So we need to find the function's integral when the limits are 1 to 4. We can split 1 to 2 plus 2 to 4. We can split the limits 1 to 2 and 2 to 4. How? Because 1 to 2, for the limits 1 to 2, the function is 4x plus 3, and for the limits 2 to 4, the function is 3x plus 5. So we can split the limits accordingly whenever it is the requirement of the question. So here the function is, there are two different functions as for the limits. If here the limit is 1 to 2, the function is 4x plus 3, and the limit is 2 to 4 and the function is 3x plus 5. So I have splitted the limit because I need to find the integral for the limits 1 to 4. So what I did, I split the limits 1 to 2 and 2 to 4. Now integral of 4x plus 3, it is 4x square by 2 plus 3x, and the limits are 1 to 2, and here its integration is 3x square by 2 plus 5x, and the limits are 2 to 4. Now you can substitute the limits and can get the answer. Let's substitute the limits. Here I told you that c is always lying between a and b. Here what is c? Here c is 2, because I splitted the limit 1 to 4 into 1 to 2 and 2 to 4. So here c is 2, which is lying between 1 to 4. It is totally clear. So c always lying between a and b. If the limits are given limits are a to b, then c should be in between a and b. Now when we'll substitute, it is 2x here, 8 plus 6 minus 2 minus 3, 3 by 2 into 16 plus 20 minus 3 2s are 6, 5 2s are 10, 14 minus 5 plus 24 plus 20 minus 16, 14 minus 16 is minus 2, minus 2 minus 5 is minus 7 plus 44. Now 37 is the answer. So 37 is the answer. Hope the property is clear. So why we split the limits whenever it is the requirement of the question, depends upon the question. Here the function was split into two parts according to the limits. So I splitted the limits. Let's do some more questions where we are going to split the limits. Let's do the question, then this property will be more clarified to you. Now the next question is, there's a function is modulus of x minus 3 and the limits are 1 to 5, and from where we are getting the hint that the limits will get splitted. So here's a function is modulus. What's the definition of modulus is? if modulus x is given, then its definition is saying it is positive x whenever x limit is greater than or equals to 0, and it is negative x whenever x is less than 0. So whenever x is negative, we are going to write function as minus x, and whenever x is positive or equals to 0, then we are going to write function as x. This is the definition of modulus that you already did in 11th class. So here in place of x we are having x minus 3. So as per the definition, it is saying x minus 3 is positive whenever x minus 3 is greater than or equals to 0, and it is negative whenever it is less than 0. Then we are going to solve it out. X is greater than or equals to 3, and here minus x plus 3 is the function whenever x is less than 3. So the definition of modulus is saying we are having the function x minus 3 when the limit is x is greater than or equals to 3. So whenever the limit is less than 3, we need to take the function minus x plus 3. So this is the main function that we have spread it. Modulus itself is saying there are two functions. There are two functions, depends upon the limits. If it is negative number, then we'll substitute, we'll take minus x as function, and whenever it is positive or equals to 0, we'll take positive x as function. Now here the limits are 1 to 5, but you are watching that the limits are splitting at 3, because here whenever the x is less than 3, that means the lesser than 3, whenever any limit is there, then the function is minus x plus 3. So what we are going to do is, I am going to split it 1 to 3 and 3 to 5. There are two type of limit. I already split it into two limits, 1 to 3 and 3 to 5. And here what you are watching, that 3 is already lying between 1 to 5. So C is already in between A and B. So 1 to 3, that means x is less than 3, the function is minus x plus 3. And for the limit 3 to 5, that means greater than 3 is function which is x minus 3 dx. Now we are going to integrate. After integration we are getting minus x square by 2 plus 3x, and the limits are 1 to 3, and here after integration we are getting x square minus by 2 minus 3x, and the limits are 3 to 5. Now we are going to substitute the limits. Upper limit minus 9 by 2 plus 9 minus will get plus, because upper limit minus lower limit, minus of minus plus, and 1 square is 1 by 2 minus 3, and here we are going to substitute 25 by 2 minus 15 minus 9 by 2 plus 9. Okay. Minus 9 by 2 minus 9 by 2 is minus 18 by 2. 9 plus 9 is 18. Minus 3 minus 15 is minus 18. And 1 by 2 plus 25 by 2 is 26 by 2. This is 13. And after calculating what we are getting, we need to prove it is equals to 4. So 18 is cancelled out with 18, and here we are having minus 9 plus 13. Of course it is equals to 4. Minus 9 plus 13 equals to 4. We wanted to prove it is 4. Now it is already proved. Now it is clear that that limit will be splitted according to the function's limit. Where the function will change, according to the limit where the function will change, we can spread the limits. So I am taking another example. If we are having limits are 0 to pi sin x dx. So you know that sin 0 is 0, sin 90 1. So 0 to 1 it is increasing order. But whenever sin pi we are taking sin pi, it is again 0. That means again decreasing graph. So we can spread the limit 0 to pi by 2 plus pi by 2 to pi, because 0 to pi by 2 it is increasing in nature, and pi by 2 to pi, it is decreasing in nature. So function is changing, function is increasing in the limits 0 to pi by 2 and pi by 2 to pi it is decreasing. So we can split the limit accordingly. Here the function is increasing or decreasing, we can split the limit. And in this question, whenever the modulus is there, we know we can apply the definition of modulus, and its limits, whenever the limits are changing, the function is also changing. So we can split the limit accordingly. And in previous question, it was already given. The function, there were two different functions according to the limits. So we applied that property, that means splitting the limits accordingly. So we did already three types of different questions. Let's do one more question. Now the next function is modulus of x cube minus x. This is the function and the limits are minus 1 to 2. So before applying the definition of modulus, what we are getting, that x cube minus x, when we'll spread it out, we are getting x into x cube minus 1. So it is x minus 1, x plus 1. So the three factors are minus 1, 0 and 1. Three factors are we are getting, that 0, minus 1 and 1. So here we can spread the limits in three parts. How? Whenever x lies between minus 1 to 0. Whenever the x lies between minus 1 to 0. Now we can apply the property of modulus. Now how we can check? Now here one is, whenever x is lying between minus 1 to 0, x is always negative. Because here x is lying between 1 to 0. So x is always negative or can be equals to 0. X will be negative. What about x minus 1? What about x minus 1? We can even form the table. Will, by applying the table, by using the table, the question will become easy. X minus 1, x plus 1. Here the limits minus 1 to 0. X minus 1, x plus 1. You know that x is sine. X is less than or equals to 0 whenever the x lying between minus 1 to 0. Of course, it is showing that x is lying between 1 to 0. That means we are on negative side of x. Negative side, that means from minus 1 to 0. So x is less than or equals to 0. Another one is x minus 1. So in between minus 1 to 0, it can be minus 0.5, it can be minus 0.4. So whenever we are substituting minus 0.5, minus 1, but we are getting, it is minus 1.5. So that means it is negative. It is negative or can be 0. So another one is whenever we are thinking about x plus 1. So if it is minus 0.5, if it is minus 0.5, we are getting 0.5 as answer. If here it is minus 0.4, because I am thinking about the numbers which are lying between minus 1 to 0. So I am substituting one or two numbers lying between minus 1 to 0. It can be minus 0.5. After substituting x as minus 0.5, I am getting 0.5 as answer. So after substituting minus 0.4 in x, I am getting 0.6 as answer. So but we are getting that it is positive. So one is negative, another one is negative, and another one is positive. Minus minus plus, plus plus plus. So it is positive. That means our function will become positive. That means because of modulus, we have to take the two functions. One is negative function and another one is positive function. So for the limits minus 1 to 0, the function is positive. We need to take positive function. Then another limits are 0 to 1. So 0 to 1. Of course, x is positive because we are already on positive side. What about x minus 1? X minus 1. We are in between 0 to 1. We are taking 0.5, which is lying between 0 to 1. Whenever we will substitute 0.5. 0.5 minus 1. Of course, it is negative. So answer is negative. And whenever we are thinking about x plus 1, we can substitute any of the number. Let's take 0.5, of course, the middle number. If you don't want to take the middle number, you can take any of the numbers, 0.4, 0.3, 0.2, it's up to you, but it should lie between the limits. So 0.2 plus 1, it is 1.2, of course this is greater than 0. So this is positive, this is negative, and this is positive. So plus minus minus, minus plus minus. So whenever the limits are 0 to 1, our function will be negative function. And now the limits are 1 to 2. This I can spread the limits, minus 1 to 0, 0 to 1, 1 to 2. Now 1 to 2, again x is positive. What about x minus 1? We are taking any number, any x between 1 to 2. Let's take 1.4. 1.4 minus 1, it is 0.4. Of course it is positive. So whenever we are substituting in x plus 1, let's take 0.4 plus 1, again it is positive. So positive into positive into positive, plus 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 plus. That means the function is positive. We need to take positive function. So here we need to spread the limits into 3 parts, 1 to 0, 0 to 1, and 1 to 2. Why I have not applied the definition of modulus directly? Because in this function here, before taking modulus, we are taking that we have already find out the factors of x cube minus x. So if the modulus is there, that means modulus x minus 1, modulus x plus 1. So I am having 3 factors, modulus x minus 1, modulus x plus 1. So I need to apply the definition of all 3 functions, modulus x minus 1, modulus x plus 1. So what I did, I splitted the limits, because here's a limit of minus 1 to 2. What I did, I splitted the limit minus 1 to 0, 0 to 1, and 1 to 2 according to the number line, and I find the function where the function is positive, where it is negative, and where it is positive. So it will be quite easy. Or another method is what you can do, just like the last question, what you can do, you can apply the definition of every function, modulus x minus 1, modulus x plus 1, and according to, you have to find the limits now, where for the which limit the function is positive, for which limit it is negative. So that question will become quite lengthy. So this is one of the easiest way. Whenever we have modulus and we can apply even definition directly, but whenever you don't want to apply the definition directly, because here there are totally 3 functions, 3 linear functions, x minus 1, x plus 1. So all are in modulus. In that case, what we are going to do, we can spread the limits, and accordingly we can check the signs. So where the function is positive for which limit, where the function is negative for which limit, and where the function is positive for which limit. Now here we can spread the limit into 3 parts. So in previous 2 questions, or even the third question that I explained little bit, that whenever the limits are 0 to pi for sin x. So in previous 3 questions, what I did, I spread the limits into 2 parts. Now here we can we are going to spread the limits into 3 parts. So it is not confirmed that we can spread the limits into 2 parts. We can spread the limits into 2, 3, 4, so on up to so many parts according to the question to question. Here we are going to split into 3 parts. The first limit is minus 1 to 0, and the function is positive. Function is positive means x cube minus x dx. I am taking positive function because here negative function, because we already find it out the function is positive for this thing. And the next limit is 0 to 1, and for 0 to 1 the function is negative. So minus of x cube minus x dx. And next limit is 1 to 2. And for 1 to 2 limit, the function is positive, which is x cube minus x dx. So, for these limits, the function is positive. For 0 to 1, the function is negative. So, I applied negative sign here. So, and for 1 to 2 limits, the function is positive. So, now we are going to solve it out. X raised to power 4 by 4 minus x square by 2, and the limits are 1 minus 1 to 0. And here minus x raised to power 4 by 4 plus x square by 2, and the limits are 0 to 1. X raised to power 4 by 4 minus x square by 2, and the limits are 1 to 2. Now you can substitute the limit, and after substituting the limit, I am getting the answer. It is 11 by 4, and we wanted to prove it out 11 by 4. So you can solve it out. You can substitute upper limit minus lower limit in this function, upper limit minus lower limit, and upper limit minus lower limit. You can solve it, and we'll get the answer 11 by 4. Hope this property is clear, and the questions that we did today are clear. We'll do some more questions. That means we'll shift on trigonometric functions. That I gave little bit hint about the sine lines. So how can we split the limit whenever in case of trigonometric function? So whenever the limits are given and the function is trigonometric function, how we are going to split the limits? We'll do some questions based on that topic by tomorrow. So till then, just revise these type of questions and do some more questions of these types where the limits can be spread it out. So till then, stay home and be happy. Thank you so much.